The low window shows a different city than the one the high floors know. More detail, more ordinary beauty, more of the actual below. Low window, this is mine. Ground level, human design. Low window, close and real. The city at the scale of fear. I've lived at every height in cities and learned I always come back down. The low window holds the gritties and the gentler parts of town. Low window, this is mine. Ground level, human design. Low window, close and real. The city at the scale of fear. Look through. Low window. Everything is closer here. The faces, the rain on pavement, the scale of what is deep. Through the low window, everything I need to see. Right there. I've been living in the waiting room of what comes after what I've known. Sitting with the comfortable gloom of not yet ready, not yet grown. The waiting room, this is fine. Everything in some time in line. The waiting room, soft and long, waiting for the next belonging. Some people hate the waiting room, the suspension of the not yet clear. I've learned to decorate the gloom and make a home while waiting here. The waiting room, this is fine. Everything in some time in line. The waiting room, soft and long, waiting for the next belonging. In the space between the words we said, there was everything we meant. In the silence of the unmade bed was every moment that we spent. The space between is where I live, between the take and the give. The space between soft and real, the only place I truly feel. Between the leaving and the stay, between the night and early gray, I find myself in all the end, between where I have always been. The space between is where I live, between the take and the give. The space between is soft and real, the only place I truly feel. I don't need the edges, I just need the middle, soft and unresolved, like an unanswered riddle. Space between here. I sit sometimes in the unlit room, not sad, just resting in the dark, finding in the comfortable gloom the quiet of the unlit arc. unlit rooms never bring something in the dark permits a different kind of resting thing. Unlit room, this is fine. Darkness making things more mine. The unlit room, dark and white. Everything I need inside. The unlit room, soft and real. A darkness I can actually feel. Sitting in the unlit, not afraid of the dark. Never was, really. Beneath the canopy of everything, there goes an understory, soft and low, where smaller lives do their own flourishing, away from everything. The loud winds blow, the understory, mine to know where the quieter things grow. The understory, low and true. This is where I soft resistance to the world is in the things I quietly refuse. The corners where I've gently curled away from what I didn't choose. Soft resistance, mine to hold. Not everything needs to be bold. Soft resistance, quiet power, the strength inside, the gentle hour. Soft resistance, real and true. The softest thing can see things through. Not every battle needs a shout. Some of the most important ones are won in the quiet turning out of what no longer serves or runs. Soft resistance, mine to hold. Not everything needs to be bold. Soft resistance, quiet power, the strength inside, the gentle power. Soft resistance, real and true. The softest thing can see things through. Softly resisting, quietly holding my ground. That counts. There's a warmth inside the static, like a radio left on at night. It is neither clear nor frantic, just a soft and blurry light. just in between. Some things only work from here. Warm static, fill the room. Hold me in your gentle hum. Warm static, you and I, somewhere between hello and goodbye. Warm static, soft and near, the most honest thing I hear. Warm static, humming, still warm. Velvet distance, still warm. You're somewhere in the same night sky, breathing air I cannot reach. We never even said goodbye, just drifted out of easy reach. Velvet distance, soft divide. Something warm still burns inside. Velvet distance between us now. I don't remember when or how. Velvet distance, real and kind. You're the quietest in my mind. I think of you on rainy nights, when the city turns to haze. You were one of those red lights that stayed with me through darker days. Velvet distance, soft divide. Something warm still burns inside. Velvet distance between us now. I don't remember when or how. Velvet distance, real and kind. You're the quietest in my mind. Velvet, velvet distance, still warm. There's interference in the signal, something beautiful and broken. Not a noise like a minimal. Truth is better left unspoken. Soft interference, let it through. Maybe it's just me, maybe you. Soft interference in the line. Blurring yours and blurring mine. Soft interference, don't correct. Some things are better when imperfect. I stopped trying to tune it out. The static has its own language, not something I need to figure out. Just something I need to manage. Soft interference, let it through. Maybe it's just me, maybe you. Soft interference in the line. Blurring yours and blurring mine. Soft interference, don't correct. Some things are better when imperfect. Let it hum. Imperfect is honest. There's a still point in the middle of the turning, where everything stops for a breath. Not arrival, not the yearning, just the quiet before and after death. Still point at the center now. Everything finding out how. Still point, warm and wide. The eye of everything inside. I find it most at late hour, when the turn slows its pace, when I can feel the quiet power of the center of my space. Still point at the center now. Everything finding out how. Still point, warm and wide. The eye of everything inside. don't find it, you remember it. Still point right here at the center. Always was. After all the circling above, I finally find the landing strip. Not with force, not with a shove, just a slow and gentle dip. Soft landing, come down, back to earth, back to the ground. Soft landing here at last, everything that came to pass. Soft landing, touch the ground. This is where I can be found. I've been airborne in my thinking for longer than I'd like to say. Now I feel the slow descending into something like okay. Soft landing, coming down, back to earth, back to the ground. Soft landing here at last, everything that came to pass. Soft landing, touch the ground. This is where I can be found. Wheels down, finally home. I leave the window open wide and let the night decide what stays. The cool air moves like quiet tide and rearranges all my days. Open window, open night, everything that feels not right softens at the edge of air. drift from far.